First proclamation of the night is for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Councilmember Alex Andrade.
Thank you. Proclamation for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas the national theme of this year's Sexual Assault Awareness Month is building connected communities and calls on us to all to build connected communities that promote equity and respect, as our connections to one another have an impact more significant than ourselves. And whereas, according to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, addressing the social and structural determinants of health, such as education, income, employment, community safety, and social support, is crucial to improving the conditions in which we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas more than 53% of women and more than 29% of men have reported experiencing contact sexual violence in their lifetime, and whereas negative impacts of sexual violence, trauma on adults, youth, and children include fear, concern for safety, missed work or school, injury, and physical and mental health conditions, including symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. And whereas, by visiting the Washington Coalition of Sexual Assault Programs website, community members can find contact information for organizations that deliver preventative programs and provide resources and services for victims of sexual assault. And whereas, working together as a community, we can alleviate the trauma of sexual violence by ensuring supportive resources are available to survivors while standing up to and actively disrupting harmful attitudes and behaviors that contribute to sexual violence. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Burien, Washington, joins advocates and communities in taking action to prevent sexual violence by standing with survivors and proclaiming April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the City of Burien, and urges all community members to join as we build more connected communities and commit to a safer future for all. Dated this first day of April 2024.
And is there someone to accept the proclamation?
There is. I have today Pennie Saum. I wanted to quickly speak to why I sponsored this. Abuse and shame thrive in silence was a quote I pulled from one of Pennie's podcast interviews, and I couldn't agree more. I chose to sponsor this proclamation because I too am a survivor. Together, we need to do our part to intervene and prevent sexual assault in our communities and reach as many people as possible. And stepping up and speaking out, we are not only bringing awareness, but we make sure that this message is constant and continue to be heard. With that, I invited Pennie Saum to accept this proclamation. Pennie Saum is an author, speaker, advocate, law changer, and voice seeker who has dedicated her life to help victims use their voice to move through trauma and grief. She has a passion for helping adult women survivors of sexual trauma through healing retreats called Soulfire. Pennie, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much, Alex. My name is Pennie Saum, she, her pronouns, and I'm a founder and the director of Brave and Unbroken Project. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you on behalf of the survivors that are here in the room, throughout your city and throughout our country, for acknowledging this today. I'd also like to mention that April is Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Month as well. And it's very, very important that we think about the incest and the child sexual abuse that many adult survivors are trying to still navigate when other sexual traumas happen. So I'd really like to acknowledge that both of those things are happening simultaneously. Washington recently passed House Bill 1618, eliminating the statute of limitations for child sexual abuse civil lawsuits. This is a huge win for survivors throughout our state. Up until that point, Washington really protected the predators and the abusers. And now we are finally saying that we are standing behind those who are suffering and that we will allow them to file civil lawsuits as of June of 2024, 3 years backwards and forever going forwards. This is a huge, huge win, and we'll continue to fight to actually get a retroactive situation in place for survivors like myself or all the people of Catholic diocese that are recently being investigated currently in the state of Washington. So this is a huge win, and many survivors stood up and was able to fight this battle together. So thank you to survivors who did that. And in 2019, we also eliminated the statute of limitations for prosecuting perpetrators in child sexual abuse as well. So Washington continues to evolve. We have come a long way. We have a long way to go. So thank you to the council and the city of Burien for the work that you're doing. A quick thought today on the Sexual Assault Awareness Month theme, building connected communities, and Alex mentioned this. This theme helps us reduce the likelihood of sexual abuse, assault, and harassment in our communities, and space where people come together in a community, whether in neighborhoods, workplaces, campuses, organizations, or even online. We are all part of the community, and often many, even when we feel disconnected or apart from them. Community is a super powerful thing. Community creates a sense of belonging and reminds us how our beliefs, our choices, and actions impact one another. At the center of the building connected communities is ensuring our communities are safe, inclusive, equitable, where racism, sexism, classism, heterosexism, ageism, ableism, and many other forms of oppression contribute to higher rates of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and abuse of children and adults. We must address all abuses of power to prevent sexual violence in our relationships, our communities, and our society. So thank you for taking this opportunity to declare this proclamation and change your city. And I'm looking forward to working with you in the future of some actions that would go behind this proclamation next year. So thank you.